Yeah, Alicia, if you want to say something.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, sir, I just have a suggestion, or like if we can, all of us, if we can do something about it. So, like all of us are here, and many people like us who, are in academics and everything. They might not believe in these things, the fake news or propaganda news. But then most people who actually, are the students of WhatsApp University, when we say, they all are not very. They don't read.
Yeah.
So if we can produce some videos, because I think that is the best thing for the WhatsApp University people to actually, bust these myths and everything. If all of us can join together and make videos in English and Hindi both,
Mm-hmm.
and then we propagate those news, those videos will go to people, because the people that I have seen around me, even my relatives, so like talking not about BJP but the coronavirus thing, there's this news and people are believing it in my community and in my area that the government is showing these large numbers of coronavirus cases because there's some package that WHO is giving to them,
Mm-hmm.
and the more the cases, the more money they will get. Secondly, also they believe because of the circumstances that has been going around in the country, that this is something, that coronavirus is something to do with the Muslim community. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's, it's a government's tool. So yeah, things like that. If we can make videos, like I'm emphasizing over videos because I think that affects people the most. So yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Sure. Yeah, that's a very important suggestion, and we definitely want to work on that. I don't know if you, I have shared some time ago a link to a small 7-minute video that we had created in April this year, about 2 months ago, where we talked about how that Tablighi Jamaat, the whole story which happened, how the media, made a sensational story out of that, and there were several fake things which they spread about Tablighi Jamaat, and of course, I mean, the Jamaat was responsible for some, they made a mistake of staying in that center. That's a different point. But the media also created a big sensation out of that, and not only Tablighi Jamaat but also the Muslim community. They totally did a bad impression of that. So I we created this video in Hindi and English. It's a 7-minute video. If you haven't seen it, then I will send you on email. It's available on YouTube. So that we did, and it was totally based on the fact checking websites like the alt news and the other fact checking websites, whatever they found out. For example, the whole, those stories like the Tablighi Jamaat people are spitting on somebody and make misbehaving in the hospital and all that. So we found out in every case we made a investigation, and we found out that most of those cases were fake. They were just randomly started by some media. So we made that story. That's just one of the stories, but there are many other themes that one can work on. For example, we have another group called Ektara, and if any of you want, I can put you on the mailing list of Ektara. On Ektara, what we do every month or every 2 months, we come up with short videos on arts and culture and history. Sometimes busting the myths and sometimes giving a very positive story. For example, I have made this short video, 5-minute video, in which I have explained how there are Hindu religious books which used to be published in Urdu language or Urdu script. So you will find Ramayana and Mahabharata and all these Hindu religious books published in Urdu script. This was a tradition in Lahore and Delhi and everywhere. So I'll send you the link to that. So this kind of positive stories where you talk about how there is a positive Hindu Muslim coming together and doing something positive. They are very useful, and short videos, as you say, that short videos we really work. So we need to definitely create that. And I would like you to, I mean, even if you are not familiar, even if you are not, if you don't have the wherewithal to produce a video, you can always write a short script. It's very easy. You write a short script and suggest what kind of images can be put on it, and we can together produce such videos. So it's a good idea, each of us can think of some theme which we should then, those videos we should spread and share as much as we can. So that's a good idea, and we should definitely. And I've seen that whenever somebody is spreading some hateful message on a forum, uh, one way is to counter that, and you tell them that, look, don't spread this hate and this is fake. That is one way. But the other way is to ignore it and put something positive, spread something positive. That really changes the whole scenario. That changes the whole mood of that forum, I have always noticed. So it's always, in fact, we can make a list of even links and stories and some internet links which are about something positive, something good between Hindus and Muslims, some interaction, some cultural harmony story. You keep making a list of such stories, and you go to these forums, you go to whether Facebook or whatever, and if you find that there is a forum in which there is a lot of hate mongering happening, don't do anything about that hate mongering. Just put a story, just post something nice there. It will at least, if nothing, it will at least let people think, oh, acha, there is something else also, there is another way of looking at this whole thing. So it's a good idea to make a list of these posts, nice stories, nice memes you can create, nice pictures you can find, and even pictures like, you must have seen those very interesting pictures that a Muslim woman in a burqa going with a child who's dressed like Lord Krishna or something, like in the school they have these special Janamashtami kind of thing. So there are many little pictures like that. Even those pictures work wonders. I have noticed that when you have something hateful going on, just post a picture like that, and it changes the scenario, it changes the whole mood. So we need to come up with these ideas. We need to bring as much. I mean, it's a very unfortunate that we have to do all this online. I mean, whereas we should be living an offline life, we should be living a real life and meeting people and discussing and having a nice kind of interaction, nice kind of social life. But our lives are reduced to this online thing because the future is that, the new generation, the younger generation, they're all going to spend most of their time online. So one thing is to counter that negativity with these positive things, but I think you should also promote amongst your friends, among the people, promote an offline world. Tell them that leave this online thing and come to the real life. Forget about this mobile phone and internet. Come to the real life. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a talk. Let's have a film screening, or let's have a cultural thing. Let's so spend more time on that. Let's also promote that kind of offline life. I think that's also very important, especially among the youngsters. We need to promote that kind of thing.
Yusuf, I was wondering if
Yeah,
instead of producing videos on our own, so along with, not instead of, but along with producing videos
yeah.
on our own, can we reuse some of the videos from movies and so old serials that were there on Doordarshan? So
Yes, yes,
they're the
yes.
kind of things that so I've seen a lot of people using some of those things, and
Yes,
they
yes,
also
yes.
work
Definitely, definitely. In fact, I remember I edited, this famous Bharat Ek Khoj serial from Doordarshan. I find it a very useful and a very, very positive package of Indian history, and we should promote that. Of course, the name of Nehru goes with it, and a lot of people. But we need to promote that. So I cut out a small portion from Bharat Ek Khoj. The very first episode, the very first scene, which shows that Nehru is coming to a village and he's welcomed by a crowd, and people are shouting Bharat Mata ki Jai, Bharat Mata ki Jai. So I especially cut that out to show to people when this whole Bharat Mata ki Jai thing was going on. So he comes to, he's like going to the villages of India for an election campaign or something. So he comes to this crowd, and there is a stage. He stands on the stage, and everybody is shouting Bharat Mata ki Jai. So he says, look, this slogan that you are shouting, Bharat Mata ki Jai, do you know what is the meaning of that? And everybody is silent. So somebody quietly says, Sir, Bharat Mata ki Jai means we are saying the Jai of our country, our land. So he says, what else apart from the land? So then they say, well, it is about the trees, about the village, about the fields, about the river. Then he says, what else? And they're wondering, what is he talking about? What else? He says, ये सब जो आपने बताया, all these things, land and trees and field and river, is all fine. But Bharat, what is Bharat? Bharat is actually the people of India. If you don't count the people of India in it, and all the people in India, of India, whatever religion they belong to. So this is the first scene from that, and I always find it very useful. I posted it on Facebook also. I can send it to you. So these kind of things we should promote. Yeah, you're right that recycling what is already available, it's a good idea. We should find such things on YouTube and etc. Even if you have it offline somewhere, if you remember some recording from somewhere, you bring it, and we make a, we try to promote it as much as possible. So definitely a good idea.
Can I ask something, Yusuf?
Yeah,
Fatima here.
sure.
One thing is, again, like, it's something which I said last time also, about building pressure on these platforms.
Yeah.
Because very often, like, how much ever I've never had one instance when I reported something and they have taken it down. For example, I research a little I do a little with academic research around it. So in Brazil and all, there have been researchers have been giving them, for example, WhatsApp is very popular there.
Yeah.
It's called Zap. And like, there have been some suggestions from the community Brazil itself, which WhatsApp eventually took it seriously. So like a kind of
Hello, Fatima. I can't hear you. Can others hear her?